around the room and see who is swimming with you in this sweet ocean of devotion. Just scan the room and allow your eyes to be eyes of blessing. That is, everyone that you see is blessed because you're seeing them. You're looking for the good, the beauty, the love, the unique, integrous aspect of being one with God. And then what you're looking for, you are looking with. As you're looking for the good in each other, you're activating that which is within you that is of the all good, the presence of God, and you are being a blessing. Say with me right now, I'm willing to be a blessing. I'm willing to shine the light because I am the light. Somebody just scream about it right from the beginning here. And so as this month, we're entering into the miracle zone, and as was described by the reading so wonderfully read by Diane Lane, you're becoming aware that a miracle is an instant or incremental demonstration of that which is real and eternal, breaking into time and space. That you are not waiting for a miracle. The universe is waiting for you to come into alignment with the vibrational frequency of the miraculous, the vibrational frequency of the eternal, the vibrational frequency of that which is already within the heart mind of the infinite, that which is already in the universal cosmic field of love and beauty and intelligence. It already exists. So you're not waiting for a miracle. You are aligning yourself through prayer, through meditation, through visioning, through being a beneficial presence on the planet with the vibration of that which we would call the miraculous. So the miraculous shows up in time and space. You're also letting go of all thoughts that time and space is a prison. Instead, you're now beginning to look at it as a canvas by which you get to paint with the radiant colors of your soul. Just as an artist walks in and sees the canvas, doesn't think of it as a prison, it gets to paint with divine creativity on that canvas. So you're not locked into time and space. You are an eternal being that's using time and space to allow for the colors of your integrous being, one with God, to absolutely paint the beauty of love and beauty and intelligence and prosperity and wholeness and wellness and well-being. You're setting yourself free. So when you hear we're believing to see, don't be fooled by the facts. First of all, we're coming to an understanding that human beings only see a narrow spectrum of reality of the electromagnetic spectrum. Human beings do not see microscopic. They do not see the quantum field. They only see a limited point of view. And oftentimes what human beings are seeing is their perception of reality based on a past experience being brought into their present moment. And then they have the tendency to experience their limited perception and they say it's real. No. No. Those days are over for us. We're becoming aware in this instant that we cannot see reality necessarily with the sensorium, the five senses, and what we see is often created by a perception of the past, and then we experience it. We're setting ourselves free. See, I'm setting myself free today. We set ourselves free with the awareness that as we enter into the miracle zone, there is a field, an infinite field, the quantum field, the heart mind of the infinite, in which the past, the present, and the future all exist simultaneously. However, the past is often a made-up and a misuse of our imagination as to what happened in the past, but it condenses itself into experience. But we're setting ourselves free today. We're coming to an awareness that there is a calling upon our soul from our future self, from our real destiny. Under Newtonian laws, cause and effect, the past is creating the present. However, in the quantum mechanics of an infinite field of infinite possibility, or the heart mind of the infinite, you can go spiritual, mind of God, you can go science, quantum field. there exists a calling. There exists a future. There exists a destiny. It's as real as what you would call the past. And when you begin to place your attention there, and it becomes a strange attractor field, and it affects your present and heals your past. When you pray, when you meditate, you are lifting yourself into this dynamic field, and you have to be hyper vigilant and hyper focused on being very conscious of what you already have in your life. And I'm saying hyper vigilant and hyper focused because your mind has been hijacked and conditioned by nefarious hypnotism. It has been conditioned by lack and scarcity. It's been conditioned and seduced and provoked and intimidated and manipulated by factors that keep you in fear so that you have no control over your own life, dangling on the strings of a puppeteer that is controlling you. You're here to wake up to your glorious nature. To enter into the miracle zone, you are understanding that a fact, you don't be fooled by the facts. A fact is a condensed thought form of an opinion or a point of view. Facts are temporary. The truth is eternal. It used to be a fact that there was something called incurable diseases. We know now that's not true. That if anyone can be healed of cancer or AIDS or diabetes, or whatever, then everyone can be. It used to be a fact that black men couldn't play quarterback in the NFL. Remember that, Sean? No, they can't be. They can be running backs. They can be defensive backs. But quarterback is too difficult for them. They can't think on their feet. They're not that intelligent. That was a fact in the 60s until Doug Williams won the Super Bowl. Now there's 16 African-American quarterbacks. Used to be a fact. But facts are just condensed thought forms that have condensed themselves into what is called a fact. Facts are malleable. Don't be fooled by facts. There's a fact that there is scarcity, and there's lack, and there's limitation. That's a condensed thought form that has spread like a mind virus through the world. You have pseudo-politicians talking about there's not enough this to go around. How can you say that when we live in a field of abundance? When the presence and the power and the love of God is everywhere, you have to open up your eyes and see. And so when we become aware of that, we begin to hear what Jesus meant, or what's stated in Corinthians, that is, that we're not to walk by sight, but by faith. Because your sight, you don't even know what you're looking at. Your vision is so limited that what you think is reality is just a narrow frequency of the electromagnetic spectrum, and there's so much here. So when you think about the other thing that he said that I loved in the book of John 3:39. Okay, that's what. Check it out, see if I'm right. Anyway, where he said, in substance, I have come to make the blind see, but I've also come to make those that see blind. People say, what the heaven does that mean? In other words, I've come to wake up individuals so they can begin to see and awaken to their ultimate reality, the truth of their being. But I've come to also make those blind who think they are seeing, who are living by false facts, false opinions. I've come to blind them to what they think is reality so that they can begin to wake up to the glorious nature, the great power, the presence and love of God is everywhere. And we begin to move from the facts that become experience. They become an endless loop of experience based on those facts and those opinions and those points of view. So we begin to have a strange attractor field of our destiny and our calling that's pulling us. In other words, what we call the future, what we call our destiny, what we call our soul call exists simultaneously with the present, simultaneously with the past. But where is your attention? What do I mean by that? All existing simultaneously. Imagine for a moment. There's a small ant crawling from a hole right here. And it's going over to a cube of sugar over here. And it gets halfway between the sugar and the hole. This is the ant's past, this is the ant's present, and this is the ant's future. But to us, it's all happening right now. We look at it, we see the past, we see the present, and we see the future of the ant, you see? It's all happening now. When we expand our awareness into the grand observer consciousness, we see all that exists simultaneously. But where is your attention? When you pray, when you meditate, you're not praying and begging and beseeching a reluctant deity. You are praying to have a spiritual realization that that desire that you have is already happening until that clicks and you begin to live in that dynamic. And in the earlier service, what came into my mind was a moment in which I was facilitating a wonderful gathering with His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. And we had an Association for Global New Thought, and His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, had invited a number of scientists and mystics and spiritual authorities to meet for a few days to have a dialogue as to how we can be an energy of transformation on the planet. And so at one point, I'm facilitating, I'm sitting next to the interpreter, and at one point, somebody says something about prayer. And the Dalai Lama says, I don't believe in prayer, like that. And everybody got quiet. Nobody's saying anything. So I said, well, hold on a second. I'm going to take off my facilitator hat for a moment, and I'm going to participate in this dialogue. And I said, Your Holiness, listen, when we say prayer, we're not talking about begging God to do anything. We're talking about having an inner realization that that which we want is already happening, and that we begin to vibrate at that level. And he said, Buddhism. He said, that's Buddhism. And then suddenly everybody's hand went up. Everybody wanted to share. But in the beginning, they were afraid to challenge His Holiness about it. It was funny to me. Anyway, but anyway, in the same consciousness, we are here holding a space. In our own awareness, we are, miracle is not an extraordinary thing happening. It is a state of consciousness. What is it? What is it? What is it? It is a state of consciousness. And you are to protect your consciousness because there's so many things trying to grab it. It'll take you down a tunnel on social media or the regular media. It'll take you down a tunnel of fear, doubt, worry, scarcity. And remember that fear, as was written, if fear goes up, intelligence goes down. Why? Because the moment you have chronic fear, the blood rushes to that part of your brain that's fight and flight or freeze, and the frontal lobe doesn't get enough blood, so you can't think properly other than to survive and to get away. So what you do, you embrace the fear. You embrace it and you rock it like a baby. There's the fear. You rock it. You don't say my fear, the fear. There's fear here. You rock it. And as you begin to rock it, something begins to happen. And you begin to see you're bigger than it. You're bigger than it. And then as you begin to open yourself up to asking higher questions, and you begin to open yourself up, the fear turns to excitement. Excitement then turns to enthusiasm. The frontal lobe starts to have blood, and you start to have creative ideas, solutions as to how to deal with what's going on in your life. Fear not, little flock. It is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, you see. We walk by faith, not by sight, you see. And I was thinking about this as I flew up to Oakland on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. The Reverend Francione's memorial service, and I was to do the eulogy. And so I go to the airport, and I'm there on time and all of that good stuff, but I can't get on the plane because I needed to have a passport, not just my license. So I had to get an Uber, go all the way back home to get my passport, and come all the way back to the airport. On the way back home, the Uber driver has a flat tire. We're sitting on the 101 freeway. There's no Uber that can get to me on the freeway. And I'm thinking, my mind starts working. Okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to leave early in the morning? I'm going to walk up the street here and try to, and my mind is going, and then I stopped. I had a smile on my face, and I said, I wonder how I'm going to get out of this. Like that. I did go in and do a little talk with the angels, too. I got to admit it. And then, as I asked this question, with this smile on my face, a car pulled over and asked the Uber drivers changing the tire, do you need some help? And they both realized they're both Armenian. And they start speaking in their language. I don't know what they're saying. But the Uber driver is pointing at me, and then he says, he's willing to drive you home into the airport. I said, cool. Take out my bags, put them in his car. He drives me home. I get the passport and drives me back to the airport. I missed the first flight, but I made the second flight. But I'm thinking about the fact that I'm sitting in the back seat. I know I'm going to get to this memorial service. I smile and say, okay, how am I going to get out of this? And the Uber says, whoop. Here you go. The fear was gone. I just asked a question. You want to ask, as we've been talking about, you want to ask a different code of questions. You want to ask, how is this going to work out? Why is it always working out? Why is everything working together for my good? Now, here's something you got to catch. You look at the state of the affairs of the world, you look at it through the lens of media. You'll see all manner of disturbing facts going on the planet. You see wars, revenge, rumors of wars, rationalizations of wars. You see the exploitation of people. You see stealing. You see all manner of things going on. And as the reading indicated, scientists say that we're the only species that can actually cause our own extinction. Right now, we can do that. Climate change. But the universal presence always has safeguards. There's always a solution built into any challenge, or it wouldn't be a universe. So when you look out, what is the safeguard for what we're going through? You are the safeguard. In other words, as you come into the miracle zone, as you expand your awareness out of time and space and pull from the strange attractor field your destiny, and you begin to come into alignment with it, not waiting for a miracle to happen, but becoming conscious that you are the miracle happening right here and right now. This is not just words. This is spiritual practice that develops insight, revelation. It develops a conscious connection to the presence of God. Then you become the safeguard and become the birthplace of the new stage of humanity. You're it. You are the next stage of unfolding humanity that is ruled by love, ruled by unity, ruled by peace, ruled by generosity, ruled by creativity, ruled by dynamic innovativeness, that do not take the facts as an answer. And you're so rooted in your gratitude that your gratitude for life is not a response to a condition. It is a soul call that creates a signal to the universal field that becomes an open portal for more good to flow into your life. But you must be hyper vigilant and hyper focused on gratitude. You must be hyper focused on love. You must be hyper focused on your soul unfolding to its greater yet to be. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So you're not waiting for a miracle. The miracle is waiting for you to come into alignment with it, you see. I want you to know you've got power. I want you to know that you are the power, that your life is an emanation of the only life that there is, which is the life of God, Almighty God, all beauty God, all joy. So we work through what? Gratitude. We work through the feeling tone of what you desire is already happening. It's already happening in the quantum field, but you have to feel that it's happening. You work through stop complaining. Complaining is quicksand and super glue that binds you to what you're complaining about. You want to keep going the way you're going? Just complain about it, and you will keep having the same condition. It's so simple, but it's so hard sometimes, because the conditions are so strong and the perception is so bound to them. That's why we call it prayer work. That's why we call it spiritual practice, so that you can break free from the super glue of what you don't want, to break into the awareness that in the field of infinite potential, it's happening now. It's happening. The good that you seek is happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's happening. Say it's happening. It's happening. Now I want you to consider something in your life right now. A quality. Maybe there's a feeling tone or an emotional tone of scarcity, not enough. Maybe there's an emotional tone of something with your body, temple, mental body, emotional body's health or something. But I want you to consider what you would feel like if that need was met, as we were doing a little bit earlier in that video. Just think about it, but consider what it would feel like if that need was met right now. Mm-hmm. You feel it? It's not against the law to feel this. Feel that the need is met. Okay, I'll give you some qualities and you just tap into it, okay? Prosperity. What would it feel like if you absolutely were demonstrating prosperity in your life? Just what does it feel like? To be rich, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to be totally healthy? What does it feel like to have peace of mind and peace of heart? What does that feel like? Okay. Take an in-breath. Sustain it right there. Don't let any air out. Just feel it. Now just feel the peace. Feel the prosperity. And feel the deep sense of safety, the deep sense of being supported and loved. Just feel that. Release. Now we want to send this signal. We want it to be a signal that is responded by universal presence through universal law. And the signal, you know what the signal sounds like? Like this. Woo! Your turn. Now load and call the feeling of your need met into the vibration. Follow me. We do it one more time. I want you to own the vibration. Whoa, okay. I want you to own the vibration. Own it. Feel it. Feel it. In breath. Woo! Complete silence. You are invited to protect your consciousness. When wars, rumors of wars, scarcity, lack, limitation are presented to you through all kinds of nefarious hypnotism and media, when it's presented to your consciousness, you will say, not so. Those are temporary facts, but they are not the truth. The feeling believing. It's a feeling belief. It's not just a belief. It's a feeling belief. It allows you to see differently. And then you will expand your perception to see what is called the invisible. Some of you in this congregation right now are gifted with seeing the auric field. Some of you are gifted at seeing in the angelic realm. Some of you are gifted and can see your ancestors. Some of you are gifted because your perception is expanded and you can see which is mostly invisible to other people. All of us are gifted with the feeling tone of the awareness of feeling this. Some of it's kinesthetic, some of it's visual, some of it's gut feeling, some of it's intuition, some of it's direct knowing. And we are breaking out of the limited version of the world as it is given to you on the news every day. That's called the olds. It's not the news. The news is the gospel, the good news of God. You are opening yourself up to see something differently, to protect your consciousness, even in conversations. When individuals are complaining to you about something constantly. I remember there was a great practitioner at Founders Church years ago. And he had, whenever he brought somebody in to be a client, he had a couple of rules. One of the rules was, for the first or second time you come to see me, you can complain about your husband, your wife, your boss, whatever. But after that, you can't complain about anyone. You have to take 100% responsibility for what you're feeling. You can't blame it on your childhood. You can't blame it. And he would fire them if at the third time they were still bringing up other people. He wanted them to have a direct encounter with what was happening in their awareness, regardless of the genesis of it. Regardless if you were dropped on your head when you were a baby, or the doctor spanked you too hard, or whatever it was. Your present can give way to the eternal. So we are, say, I am entering into the miracle zone. I am embracing my destiny. Now, my destiny is correcting my interpretation of the past. Now, why do I say that? Because research shows that oftentimes people have an imaginary past. Something happened, and they interpret it a certain way, and then later on there's a story, and sometimes the story doesn't match what really happened. So we are, whether something happened or not, there's something about us that was never touched by time. God. I'm hearing some things. Never touched by time. We want to get to that space. This is not relegated to ancient times. This is not relegated to miracles in the past. You are going to be mighty miracle beings today, now. You're going to break free from time. And you're going to extract in the quantum field your destiny. You're going to allow it to pull you. It's going to change your perception about the past. And you're going to stand in this present moment as a full-fledged spiritual adult. Woo, mature. Not old, mature. No excuses, no complaining. A dedicated articulation of your life and what's trying to break forward in your life. Oh my God, you're way more powerful than you think you are. Breath right here. Release. So believing, and when I say believing, I'm not talking about just a belief system. When I use the word believing in this context, it's a believing feeling tone. Believing feeling tone allows you to see differently. And what do you see? Opportunities, possibilities. Even in your darkest moments, you begin to realize as you reframe everything that your dark moment is a birth canal for something great to express through you. That carbon is becoming a diamond. And that chrysalis is becoming a butterfly. That aphid is growing wings. You are the safeguard for humanity. You are the beings that will hold the frequency of the next stage of human evolution. You are protecting your consciousness so that you're seeing properly and rightly. And sometimes you'll discover that butterfly people can't talk to chrysalis people. They don't understand what you're seeing. They don't believe. What are you talking about? Life is good. What are you talking about? God is everywhere. Don't you see what's happening in the world? Yes, I see the condensation of facts, but I'm living in the eternal. I'm living in the real. I'm living in God. I'm living on purpose with a purpose. You. Just hit your little thymus for a moment. Just activate your immune system. Just hit that. Open yourself up. Now when I say you, woo, I want you to be so available to this activated word. So available to break free from the prison of your own thinking. Sometimes you're thinking about what other people are thinking about you. You know what that's called? Hell. Thinking about what other people are thinking about what you're thinking about. No! Heaven is considering how God is thinking about you. God's eyes are too pure to behold inequity. God sees infinite potential within you. God sees itself in you. Will you see God in you? Will you see love in you? Will you see peace in you? Will you see abundance in you? You have the authority of doing that right now. Now let's go through this really quick because we got to go. I don't know why, but we do. You're entering the miracle zone. You're not waiting for a miracle to happen. You are coming into alignment with what we would call the miraculous. You are feeling and believing something before you see it. It used to be, I got to see it, and then I'll believe it. That's backwards. You're believing it, and then you'll see it. You're cleaning the perceptual windows by hearkening and calling forth your destiny, the choice you made before you incarnated. You chose to incarnate, to reflect and reveal the universe according to your uniqueness. You're calling that forward, so that becomes more real to you than the past. The past, the present, and the future are happening simultaneously, but we often live in the past and allow that to affect our present. But now there is a destiny calling upon our soul. We are integrating with our real self, and as it pulls us, then the past is healed, meaning that energy, those thoughts have become facts, or transmuted into a higher frequency, and we break free from the prison of our limited perception, and then incrementally or suddenly there is an answer. Incrementally or suddenly there is a demonstration, a manifestation. There is a guidance, a wisdom moving through us in a language and in a way that we can understand. We're not waiting for God to come here. God is already here. The presence of God is waiting for us to wake up to that truth. You see? It's already here. You are the answer, as I said many years ago. You're it. Say, I'm it. My life is it. I surrender to more good than I can imagine. And it's happening now. When? Somebody scream about it. Oh, I love life so much, I tell you. Oh, I love God so much. I love life. I love life. I love life. Just say in this moment, I love life so much. Why do I love life so much? Why does life love me? Why do I have so much money? Why is my body temple becoming so beautiful? Why am I so strong? Why do I have so much vigor? Why am I so flexible? Why am I so youthful? Why am I so healthy? Why am I so brilliant? Why am I so brilliant? Why am I so brilliant? Because I got something to give. And it's happening now. Woo. Woo. Oh, but I think I'm through. I think I'm through. Let me just see. So, something I used to say years ago, but it bears repeating in this moment. Catch this. When you believe and feel more in what you don't see than in what you do see, then what you do see you won't see, and what you don't see you will see. Say it again. You got it? When you believe and feel more in what you can't see. Remember, your visual cortex can't see all of it. When you believe more in what you don't see than in what you do see, the facts, then what you don't see, you will see, and what you do see, you won't see. There will be a transmutation of that which is called fact. Yes, we get to play quarterback. I mean, it was funny to me then, it's funny to me now. Look at the facts of your life and see some of those facts that are entrenched within you. And if they are inhibiting your unfoldment, inhibiting your excellence, inhibiting your creativity, and inhibiting your prosperity, Just look at the facts straight in the face and say, you are a liar. You are the liar and the father of lies. Because my life is divine. I have nothing missing. Everything I want, hope for, and desire is already within me, and I'm setting it free. Get out of my face. You see, just release the lies that have become factoids in your life. Even anything that you think has been passed on by ancestors. Lies that you've come to heal. Say, I've come to heal my entire ancestral line. I'm setting my ancestors free. I'm setting my descendants free. Because I'm free. Somebody shout about it.